Mike, Andy Reid, that the 15 plays he scripted yesterday should be sent right to the Hall of Fame.
Not bad.
People have been critical of him in the past for decision-making. Usually it's clock management, but some of his decisions as well. Those plays he designed yesterday were phenomenal, what he put together there. And Michael Vick, 4 passing TDs, 2 rushing, and I think most of those were in the first half. It was unbelievable.
That was, at least for a half, that was one of the biggest blowouts I've ever seen in the NFL.
What's the NFL? 90 years it's been around, okay? Mm-hmm. That was the most points ever scored in the first half in the National Football League.
You know, there's a theory out there, Starkey, and I the first time I heard this, I kind of scoffed, but now I'm starting to wonder that applies to both Donovan McNabb and Michael Vick, which is that Andy Reid and Marty Morningwing are such good coaches of the details and fundamentals of the quarterback position that they actually make their quarterbacks better than they are, and that's an explanation for Michael Vick, who's probably the MVP of the league to this point, based on what we saw last night, and maybe also an explanation for what's happening right now with Donovan McNabb.
I don't think Vick's thrown an interception yet this year.
Been terrific. Much better decision maker than he ever was. I know he went to the Pro Bowl. He was never a Pro Bowl quarterback in Atlanta. Now he absolutely is.
It seems like he will look to run after his passing options are done. And
first option, second option, third option. Okay, now I'm going to go.
And it's there, and it's wonderful. And his speed is back. They have guys trying to shadow him, and they can't do it.
Great athlete.
Now, you mentioned Reid and Marty Morningwig coaching up quarterbacks. And I'll think of A.J. Feely. He goes off somewhere else, doesn't do as well, but he played very well for the Eagles.
Sure.
If that's the case, and they coached up McNabb, and they got the most out of him when he was here, and he's going to Washington, it's funny. Washington's trying to redo him altogether. It reminds me of Howard Stern in Private Parts when he goes off to NBC, WNBC. They're trying to reinvent somebody, and I'm sorry, this is what he is.
How about the criticism that Reid got for you're crazy to trade this guy in your own division? Hey, how about taking this lemon off my hands in your own division?
Crazy like a fox.
There you go.
McNabb gets a 5-year deal 2 weeks after his coach is throwing him underneath the bus. 5 years, $78 million.
Might be the looniest element of this story.
When I first heard something happened with McNabb yesterday, I was driving in my car. I didn't hear the beginning of it. I thought they cut him. They wanted to cut him to avoid the controversy of Monday Night Football with the announcers talking the whole time. And as it was, the announcers weren't sure how they handle it. But it's funny how the media then spins it into, well, yes, he deserved this deal, and they've been working on this for a while. No, they weren't. There's no way that the coach throws him under the bus, and this deal was in the works for a while.
And there's also no way that it's a $78 million deal.
No.
We have to blame the media for being very, very deceptive about in the way that these contracts are reported. There's no question.
I'm not sure if it's deceptive by the media. I think we're given stuff from people, and we just take it and go, okay, and we run with it, as opposed to investigating a little bit.
Run with it and throw numbers up on the wall.
Tweet it out there.
It needs to be more than that. It needs to be more nuanced and analytical than that. That's all I'm saying.
But this is a guy who, this deal isn't going to be for 5 years and $78 million. I don't think it's going to be for 4 years. I think this deal was just to appease him. The agent got involved and says, either you make up for what you said to him, you hurt his feelings, or he doesn't want to play here anymore. And this same thing happened against the Ravens. He got benched there, and all of a sudden he gets a new deal. Not for years, but for money. And it was like a compensation for, we shouldn't have said what we did, here's some money.
When you look at big picture of Donovan McNabb's career, there's been times when 2-minute drill at the end of games where he literally threw up. He was gagging, literally couldn't catch his breath. Other people that have played with McNabb have said that some of Shanahan's criticisms are legitimate. Reid was constantly telling him, pick up the tempo at practice. They're in a playoff drive. They get rid of he gets hurt. Jeff Garcia comes in, and essentially they play better with Jeff Garcia. All of these things, and then the Shanahan comment and the benching, and all of these things, and the reaction of the national media to all of them has been, what other great athlete has had to endure the indignities that Donovan McNabb has had to do? And I just wonder if, are we at the point now where you start to wonder if maybe some of this criticism is legitimate, is for real?
It may be, but I think it's also offset by the fact that he's a model citizen. This guy has never gotten in trouble.
Well,
he's
is.
Basically a good guy.
That's true.
And I think there's where he gets the free pass sometimes.